Cruikshank. Boom.
Preparation is everything. Good morning, Nudelberg Daily Huddle. It is Thursday. Nudelberg. It is Thursday. It is dark and rainy still, but we're back. We're back to the routine. We're here. We're ready to deliver, and we're ready to do it another day, one after another, stacking days.
I had a spectacular day yesterday. When clients are prepared for the time we spend together and they just line up and shoot it at me, I don't think there's anything better. I was so thrilled, so excited. We covered a lot of ground. Shout out to MAB, MBA. I was teasing her, Mary Beth at United Way. Boom. Scott Smith, shout out to you. Fantastic. Great stuff.
That's really fantastic. And I think that when your preparation is everything, we talk about that consistently, but we prepare for the call mentally to know where we are in the engagement with an individual or an organization, what we're working on, what I know I need to be asking questions about to make sure we're making progress on. But it makes it 1,000 times better when the person you're working with is prepared, whoever it is, whether it be a CEO, whether it be somebody within the organization, because if they're prepared, they know what they want to develop. They know where they want to go. They're able to ask the questions, and then you're able to just, deliver. So it's awesome.
Really spot on. I mean, I say to them, okay, you have the lemon. How hard do you want to squeeze? You got me, you got my attention. I want to be here to help. I can predict or sort of advance some stuff. But if something's like tingling in your mind or your belly, and Mary Beth, which from now on I'm calling her MBA. She is the MBA. She was just so prepared. She had, I said, hey, this is great. Here's how this is going to work. It was really our first time for a one-on-one. We've been doing group stuff. And she says, oh, I'm prepared.
Yeah.
I got questions. I was like, let's go.
That's the way you want to start it. That is absolutely it. So we are prepared today, chock full of good content, lots of stuff to talk about, and excited to join everybody. But Shay, take us away with the morning motivational music.
I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. Everybody sing, whoa, 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 hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Say, let 'em hear you. Yeah. Let's go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, shout it to the rooftop. Whoa. Sit to the rooftop. Whoa. Oh, come on. Yeah. Oh, come on, let's go. Rise up when you're living on your knees. You rise up. Tell your brother that he's gotta rise up. Tell your sister that she's gotta rise up. When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up?
Very nice.
So for those of you who do not know where that's from, that is from the play Hamilton, and unbelievable song and scenes in there. But that is in the very beginning. I am not throwing away my shot. And so bring that attention to today. Every day is your shot. You've got the opportunity to do what you want with the day. You got to get after it. You got to attack it. And talking about yesterday, kudos to everybody in the huddle. Special kudos to Kim Swears for sharing and being vulnerable and telling her story. But wow, did we leave a mark yesterday. We raised $800 in total. Shout outs to number one, my first lady, Gabby.
Did you forget her name?
That would be no. Good. So Shay threw up the graphic, and I was looking at the number. I was like, "Is that right?" I was looking at it, but it is correct. So my first lady, Gabby, Joe First, Jeff Brott, Jeremy Turris, Michelle Morrison again, Ashley Putnam, Brian Kissel, Ann Gottwald, Doug Moradian, Matthew Bauer, Kelly Martin, David Stavali, and Greg Goldstein all took the movement yesterday and donated. So thank you. Thank you to Carissa Jones and to Jeff Bishop for creating posts with the link and sharing it with their network. We continue to push you guys to share it with your network, get people involved. It was on my story yesterday. The people from City Furniture shared it with their network. So we're almost there. We're almost to the end of it. We've got a few days left. So let's push to the finish and give.
So I'll show you just the power of networking, of putting yourself out there. Brian Kissel, actually, I met on a train when the Brightline was going back and forth. He leaned over one day on the train. He says, "You're the guy that wrote that book, right?" I was like, "Wow, yeah, man." Boom, boom, boom. We connected. We stayed in touch, and here he's part of the Huddle. And so kudos to everybody, because this is not about one person, but what one man can do, another man can do. And this is men and women coming together to do something great. And so this is killing the bear, man. Great job.
So for those of you who took the nudge yesterday to give, we appreciate it. Shay will drop the link in the comments again for those of you that have not yet given, and take your opportunity today to go do it. But today,
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dave Stavali Sr. actually took the cue and watched The Edge last night. And let me tell you something, man. You know what we're talking about, man. Is that a great example, man? You just, when your back's against the wall, you do what you have to do. When they say carpe diem, go to the top of this, Mark. You said, seize the day. Sometimes you don't have a choice. That's right. Don't throw away my shot, because today is my shot. And if you fall asleep, you'll miss it. So that is just, bam, beautiful.
Phenomenal. Knocking it out of the park. So today is National Nut Day. So I've got a great story for us to talk about that was posted in Inc. about a company called Nerdy Nuts, which I'm excited to talk about. But what's your favorite nut?
So I am a coconut.
I'm going with either cashews or pistachios as my favorite nut for sure. And obviously tons of fun that you can have today on social media with asking people their favorite nut. Get nutty, get nuts. Are you nuts? How, has the pandemic made you nuts?
If you're keeping this as a, rated
do you
G,
have nuts?
right. Do not get kicked in the nuts, man.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So Shay, show us the video to give us a little bit of a background on who Nerdy Nuts is.
Hey guys, I'm Erica Peterson. I'm the owner of Nerdy Nuts. We're a small batch peanut butter company. Our number one most popular peanut butter is our white chocolate peanut butter. We also have fun flavors like toffee, butterscotch, mocha, and seasonal flavors too, like pumpkin spice and gingerbread. I try to pride myself in freshness and flavor so that families really truly have a lot of fun trying these together. Love is our main ingredient, even if the FDA won't allow us to put it on the label.
So first of all, I'm buying one of those today for sure. And I think I'm going pumpkin spice peanut butter could be,
So once I tell you the story, you're actually not going to buy one of these today. And I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. But so they are a direct to consumer flavored peanut butter company. And I love their branding and their messaging. They are changing the way people eat peanut butter one spoonful at a time. So where I love messaging, I love, that rings clear to me. And I love anybody who's talking about changing the game in general. So that's fantastic. But in August, Craig Mount and Erica Peterson, who founded Nerdy Nuts exploded. Their sales topped $500,000. They were overwhelmed by backlogged orders and depleted supplies. And if you don't believe me, I'm not kidding. You can go to the site, right? It's $12 a jar, but you can't get one right now. Everything on the site says sold out. So I want to go into the story of how they got to where they are, because I think there's some phenomenal nuggets and takeaways in here. But back in February of 2019, Peterson, who was pregnant and looking for a new gig after moving to Grand Rapids, South Dakota, started making the flavored peanut butter. And by the summer, her and Mount had founded Nerdy Nuts as the company. It was a little side gig. It was something for her to do. They had moved, whatever. They started going to farmers markets to sell their two first flavors, which were honey roasted and white chocolate. And Mount talks about it. He says, we spent hours and hours in front of live customers who we were able to see test out the products in real time. It became an excellent testing ground and a perfect way for us to iterate. And so I know this about football. Iteration is everything. Learning how to develop the process and make the process efficient and effective is everything. Okay, so by the end of the summer, Nerdy Nuts was the most popular booth, and they were bringing in about $1,000 every Sunday. And in their mind, they were like, great, this is a little weekend hustle. We can make $1,000 on a weekend, have fun with it. But as insatiably curious people do, Mount decided to start spending his free time researching the niche world of peanut butter. He finds out that the industry is 60% of the industry is $2 billion is dominated by two major companies, right? JM Smucker, which owns Jif, and Hormel Foods, which owns Skippy. But he also compiles a list of 127 small players that are all direct to consumer brands. And he finds out that everybody is pretty much either healthy or keto friendly. They're all in the same vein. So he says, all right, I see our opportunity to make peanut butter fun again. We're going to be flavored, and we're not going health. We're not going in this where everybody else is. We're going to be delicious. We want to be, the company. What are you laughing at?
So this whole conversation reminds me when I was a kid, there was a product called Fluffernutter, which was basically
they have a flavor, Fluffernutter.
Do they really? It's like,
it was like a
marshmallow and peanut butter together, which was like, have another Nutter Butter sandwich.
1000%. So
insane.
He keeps Nerdy Nuts focused on flavor and fun, right? And so he's curious, how should I go to market? What should I do? So he goes into the Hustle's Trends Facebook group and starts posting in there, starts asking questions, right? Hey, I want to connect. I got questions about this. I've got this idea. This is what I'm doing. He asks for help, and he gets connected with this PR whiz, Adrian Solomunovic, who had a ton of experience in the PR world and has an idea for them that says you should piggyback off of what another company had done around campaigns and create flavors for the candidates. So he does it. He creates one for both candidates, and he starts hammering every reporter he can find on social media, any which way he can get in contact with a reporter to get somebody to pick up a story. And Fox News does it. And they post the story, and it boosts their sales to $27,000, and like they have their first little taste of success. So he's like, all right, I like this. He gets the idea from Nike, from Adidas, from clothing lines to start doing product launches for the flavors, creating this, this one date. Jordan sends out the new date of the shoes and the stores are swamped. So he said, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go to social media for it. I'm going to do it with Instagram. Sees a small bump. Likes the idea, is good. It boosts the sales, but doesn't get the return that he's really looking for, right? So he says, where else can I do this that I might get some more traction? Goes to TikTok, okay? Goes to TikTok, finds two influencers to do it, creates product launches for the couple of flavors, and kaboom. In August, they absolutely explode. And the sales jump up to, I think it was $165,000 in the months of August and September. Okay. October continues to explode, and they jump up to $500,000. But the problem that came with it was that they didn't have the ability to fill the orders. So when they had this massive boom from TikTok, they go out, we don't know what to do. They tried everything. They picked up more machines. They tried to create the better process. They paid people to go in and break down the process and make it more efficient. They could not match the demand. So he said, screw it. What I'm doing is I'm shutting the site down, and I'm only opening up on Sundays from this window, and I'm going to tell everybody this is when we're doing it, right?
Gotta love that, man.
So he creates scarcity. So from a logistics standpoint, selling out was the worst thing that could have happened, says Mount. But from a marketing standpoint, it was the best thing ever. Mount found that selling out created a lucrative feedback loop. It created an illusion of scarcity for those who didn't get a jar, and it made people who did get a jar feel exceptionally special. When Nerdy Nuts opened the site on the first Sunday, they made $80,000 in sales and had to shut the site down in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, what a phenomenal story of, first of all, starting with their tagline. Mark Thomas, shouted out, "Let's be delicious." What a commitment to, like, okay, I get it. Who are we? We're delicious. That word, like, if you go put that out there, you better be delicious. I mean, so I love the fact that, for me, the takeaway is that if you own something and your passion and everything, anything can happen. And by the way, for everybody that's listening to this, this is an opener for every conversation. Hey, do you like peanut butter? If they do, great. You talk about this. And if you don't, you have your own conversation. Shay and I were in a huge pitch. And I asked the global head of training, I said, "Do you like tuna fish?" And we were talking 20 minutes about tuna fish. So, this is how people are connecting. And I love it, man. I think it's great.
So for me, the foundations of success in this story is like, whatever you like, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you enjoy can become your side hustle. Figure out a way to make a business out of it. Feedback loops are critical to success. That's how they really perfected their process and the product, was being at the farmer's market, right? Knowing the market can allow you to position yourself for success. For those of you that are sales professionals that focus on only your product and don't know shit about your competitors or what else that's out there in the world, it's impossible for you to position yourself as a point of differentiation because you're only focused on what you're doing. He did an unbelievable job of figuring out what everybody else was doing and how they were positioning.
How much research do you and I do about what's being offered out there? I spend hours and hours digging in to really see. It's like, wow, this is good or this not good. Is this cheating the people? Is this, I think it's awesome what you're pointing out here.
So this one goes in all caps: ask for help. All he did was go post in the Facebook group for Hustle and say, "Hey, I need help here. I got some ideas." He gets connected to the right PR person, and that's how they start creating ideas to blow the business up. And then all they did was R&D.
On that one, who does that remind you of? What favorite entrepreneur of ours does that one question remind you of?
Of which question? I need help. Ask help?
Ask for help. Teach me. Do you remember? Warren Struhl. Warren Struhl is just fantastic.
For sure.
It's like he goes up right up to
exactly
the
how you do your
category.
business.
Can you teach me everything you know about the popcorn business? And he exploded, and his popcorn was his popcorn is everything he's done in that category has been amazing.
And none of his ideas were original, right? Like, he piggybacked off of another company who created the campaign flavors. He piggybacked off of, clothing and shoes to create product drums. So R&D, which we talk about, is as rip off and duplicate, but rip off and duplicate for yourself. Don't do it exactly the way they did it. He personalized it for himself about the peanut butter company and found a unique way to do it on TikTok. Right. So utilizing social media is critical. And the last piece with exclusivity is everything. Like, if you're pitching somebody and you tell them, "Look, I only have 24 hours to be able to work with you in this window," that's what it is. You're going to put pressure on people to feel like they need to do things. They need to be part of it.
Shay has a comment. Shay has a comment.
Another brand that does the same thing is Supreme.
There you go. It's this. So go into that. Talk about that.
So Supreme, they take, it could be a brick. I've seen they put their logo on a brick, and it's very limited. They just create this thing, mark it up to all hell, and everybody buys it, and it's done. That's it. Limited supply. Boom, out of there.
So fundamentally, human nature is I want what I can't have. So you're right, that scarcity mentality. So, if you try to be everything to everybody, you lose. This is the best example of positioning I've ever seen. They're the underdog, but Carissa pointed it out, which is, you train your customers, not the other way around. So Chick-fil-A said, you know what? We believe that our employees should have off on Sunday, and they still outsell everybody. They're only working on a 6-day calendar, but people know. And if Michelle's watching this, there's been 100 times on a Sunday I say, man, I'm going to move to Chick-fil-A, and you can't have it, So it's
every Sunday you're always like, damn, I wish Chick-fil-A was open, and then that puts the nugget in your head to go back when they are.
That's exactly right. So a couple of shout outs to people who haven't been in here in a while. D. Robinson, thank you for your comments. Darren Blake, great to see you. I saw you comment on Rachel's event at the Tell Me Something Good, which was awesome. So this is a really good conversation. And Lori Salarillo points it out that Johnny Cupcakes was the same thing. They make 300 of a shirt, and it's out. It's done.
It's done.
I know him. He's promised to come on, and maybe we'll get him on this instead of one of our podcasts. But
that's a good
he's
idea.
Amazing at saying, you don't know if he's making 3 or 300. So it's built in mystique, the mystery of wow, and when you wear it proud. So it's pretty cool.
And you set the expectation up front. You know that Johnny Cupcakes is not making any t-shirts that are going to last forever. You don't know how many he's going to make, but you know that there's an exclusivity there. They set the upfront contract with people saying, this is the window we're going to open the website up to take orders. Bam, here there's a bagel place down in Miami that does the exact same thing. You want a bagel from that place, you got to order it at 8:00 in the morning, and maybe you can pick it up by 11:30.
Well, this is, we could have gone here with the Seinfeld episode. No soup for you.
No, right.
It's
correct.
No soup. Why? Because I said so.
That's
really
exactly right.
Interesting how being an entrepreneur, coming up with an idea, you have the ability to execute any way you want. Most people are me too. I'm getting in we were with a friend, Rick, last night. He owns a couple of pizzerias. He's our shout out to him. We had a great time talking business. He's one of the senior leaders at Aflac, which is a new client of ours. We're super excited, but he also owns a couple of pizzerias. And we were talking about how you have the choice to do what you want. You can deliver, you can not deliver, you can, try and make it a chef's place. He said, listen, man, we make the best fucking pizza, and that's it. Because we don't, and they do an unbelievable amount of business. He goes, we're not trying to be, all of the spaghetti and meatballs. Go somewhere else for that. You want unbelievable pizza. That's the place for pizza.
So I think it's so unbelievable, great story. For those of you who want the actual story, I can send it to you. I got it saved in my email to share with anybody who wants it. I can forward it to you. So just reach out to me and I'll send you the story. But that was a great story. A lot that we just got into. Shay, I think it's time for a break.
Best dad ever? Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that. I am totally blanking. What is the thing?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Just to tell people how unbelievable it is, we program the show in advance, obviously. This is real preparation. I had that for Friday, and Mark grabbed it for tomorrow, for today. It's great.
So we constantly in the same world of where we're getting our content from. But so it actually is time for a break for Kit Kat. Kit Kat is giving Take a Break slogan a break. They are going to social media. They're having people come up with their own idea for a slogan and use the hashtag a break for have a break. And if you win, you receive an 85-hour stay for 2 at a luxury hotel. And they've got all different kinds of things and amenities for you to choose from. But just to give you an idea on how Kit Kat is trying to leverage a time for candy and what's happening in the world with obviously, Halloween coming around and everybody's looking for candy. They're leveraging social media, they're leveraging a hashtag, and they're coming up with their own marketing ploy to get themselves market share for attention.
I think marketing right now is at its best. People are really super sharp, super innovative, super positioning. We keep showing examples. I'm going to have another example tomorrow of an old brand that is redoing how they go to market. It's so fantastic because all of this stuff really works in putting it in your brain. Like I'm going to sing that song all day, and I may off diet have a Kit Kat bar.
I mean, yeah, the song is so good forever. Like they should never ever go away from that.
So here's something also really, really cool is that in that scene that you showed, he forgot the brand. It doesn't work unless you remember the brand. It's like
totally blanking.
Say, I love that. People say, I love that commercial. I go, what was it for? I have no idea. Outstanding.
Love it.
Outstanding.
So Joe First, the 85-hour stay is because it's their 85th anniversary. They're celebrating the 85th anniversary of the candy bar with the Take a Break, and that's how they're wrapping it all together into one thing. So
just close that out for a second, because Jeff Bishop said, he's agreeing people want what they can't have. Think of anything that's right in front of you, and if somebody goes, sorry, you can't have it. I don't care what it is. It could be a piece of turd. You just you're instantly.
Why can't I have
why
it?
do you want it? What's the point? Seriously. So it's crazy, man. Psychology is amazing. Let's go to.
Let's go to some stuff. Yeah. So speaking of psychology, let's go to some psychos and let's go to the wall of shame.
Shame on you if you can't dance too. I said shame on you.
First one comes from Marissa. Hello, Mark. I don't mind at all with a smiley face. I'd like to have as many connections as possible, knowing of the greatest of clean, crafted, and organic wine. Scout and Cellar is the company I represent, and I'm so proud of the wine and mixable we sell. I'm so happy that you're happy about your wine, but what's the reason you're connecting with me? Got nothing for you.
So I love this because it never fails to amaze me. And literally, I have a file that's so big, we could do a whole show on these, unfortunately. But Kelly Martin, who is our friend, our client out in Denver, she sends me one that is a classic. I told her it was going to make the show. Rudy, a healthcare specialist, sends her an invite. She says, hi, Rudy, thanks for the invite. Would you mind sharing what made you want to connect? And he actually typed in, no. Actually type that in.
That's amazing.
Can you imagine?
No.
Rudy, this is not how the game is played.
It's amazing. No. How do you think that would go in a coffee shop? What would you hey, would you mind me asking?
No. Can I have more coffee? No.
So the last one for me comes from Tyler.
By the way, if you want to be good in sales, do not lose the word no.
Correct.
Always yes.
So Tyler comes to me. Hi, Mark. I hope you're doing well and staying healthy. I looked over your profile and would love to connect with you. So this is the classic, this is the classic example of somebody thinking that they did or trying to come off as they've done research to get personal. I looked over your profile and I want to connect. Tell me why then. It's all about why all the time. Tell me why, please. You have another? You ready to go to the Hall of Fame?
I have the Hall of Fame of Hall of Fames. The best one ever.
Shay, let's do it.
Hopefully Shay has her picture and,
Let's.
Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name.
Can I jump in? Because I'm super excited about it.
I know you're excited to go. Go ahead.
She did not send an invite with no note. This was the note that accompanied the invite. And her name is Amy. And I spoke to her last night. Hi, Steve. My name is Amy, and I'm a former colleague of Jennifer, who was with the United Way. I've worked in sales and marketing for 10 years. I work for a small company and so inspired by your videos and your style. I want to thank you for the contagious motivation you are providing, particularly in this fluid time. I'm looking forward to listening to everything. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. So this was on the way home from having cigars last night. Not only did I connect with her, I said, do you mind speaking now? She said, sure. We spoke, and I said, listen, I want you to know this kind of note is why I do what I do. You know, people say, wow, you're putting a lot of work in. So Amy, shout out to you. She's in Minneapolis. She's listening this morning. She was so gracious, so grateful. I am sending her my book. She said she works in a company that doesn't really have strong leadership. It's a small little company. Will help her any way I can. And that is the way you build a network, my friends. Amy, you are in the Hall of Fame.
All right, last one. Shout out to a huddler, Brian Lynn, for this one. Hi, Mark. An overdue invite to learn more from you in the Daily Huddle. My message is simple. I try my best to learn from the best and take nuggets where I can and apply them in my life and business. And the Daily Huddle is awesome. From the sideline, I have learned from your dad when he first got introduced to me at Toshiba. To take the message one level up, Lori Salarulo and I were introduced when Lori was the CEO of Leadership Broward before joining JA. Keep up the great job. Really enjoying the Daily Huddle each morning on my 5 a.m. runs. All the best. Brian, by the way, just purchased the Saint the Surfer, the CEO. So many of my favorite things in that message. Shout out to you, Brian.
And donated to the charity. Bam.
And donated. And thank you for all that you're doing and getting up early with us in the morning. So we are up on time. I'm going to save the old school rules for another day, but get after it this Thursday. Do not throw away your shot to be great today. Go get after it. Get back to your process and get on the ball.
I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.